wanted to change the world. Good afternoon, my name is Rachel. Today, I will share about how my self-transformation can better the world. Have you ever wondered how you can make the world a better place? Or have you ever stressed over not being able to make a difference and that you should be doing more? Here's a reminder that you matter, and it's the little things that count. Mitchell is my twin sister. When I looked at her, I see selflessness, passion, and determination. We were both in the same class throughout the 4 years in secondary school. I was the quieter and soft-spoken twin, while she is an outgoing, friendly, and interacting with everyone. People often compare me to her. This got me wondering, why can't I be as outgoing and available to everyone like she does? During my secondary school days, a teacher introduced to me student council. This CCA requires students to learn about teamwork, leadership skills, and communication skills. When she asked the class who would be interested in such a CCA, my twin, of course, eagerly raised her hand. However, my teacher nominated me instead. At that moment, I felt I was cornered until she said that she sees potential in me and wants me to take up this challenge to improve on my communication skill. So I decided to take up this challenge to prove to her and myself that I can do it. I also engaged in various CCAs while in secondary school. I enrolled in shooting club where I learned the art of precision and sportsmanship. I had an interest in photography, so I also joined club photography, where I devoted my time to taking photographs for various school events. I also joined InfoCall and New Age Media Club, where I was appointed as one of the executive committee. I developed leadership skills during this period and had ensured that all members were present and met the agenda for the day. At the same time as a student councillor, I started to gain more confidence and the initiative to take up projects. I was able to stand in front of crowds to present and got better than before. I served diligently as a student councillor of my secondary school, completing projects such as the school welcome camp and farewell party. I had also taken up the role as Master of Ceremony for the school's Teachers' Day celebration and the planned games. I had also worked actively with different teams in the planning and executing the Secondary 1 orientation program. This opportunity allowed me to lead a new Secondary 1 class during orientation. I had introduced them to the various facilities of the school programs, and encouraged them to participate in the various events. To foster relationships beyond my secondary school, I was appointed to participate in the Hwa Chong Leaders Convention in 2017, where I had discussed topics pertaining social issues concerning youth from both local and foreign schools. It was such a great experience, and I shared with my student councillor members on the experience and how it has given me a different perspective. I had learned how to effectively manage a group, listen attentively to resolve issues, view things from a different perspective, and to show respect towards the opinions of others. In 2019, I was contacted by my secondary school teacher to give a motivational speech to my juniors, to share my journey and lessons so that they can benefit from it too. Currently, in ITE College Central Rotaract Club, as one of the executive committee, I strive to grow members to the best of their ability, to bring volunteerism to the next level and give back to the society. Organizing more events, especially the ones that touch life and make a difference in the society. One may ask, why the need of self-transformation? I feel that self-transforming oneself not only benefits us individually, but also benefits the people around us. It also impacts on the lives of others, especially our lives, because a single grain of rice can tip the scale. Just like the teachers I had encountered, their influence had made a difference in my life. They were the grain of rice that tipped my scale. I am able and capable to do many things. So now I am willing to give it or pass it on. My word on advice to the next generation like me is to do not be busy trying to outshine others, as you will miss out igniting your own inner spark. If one focuses too much on competing with others, one will not feel complete. Self-transformation cannot be delegated. As you change the circle of influence, this will affect one's thinking and ultimately changing one's life too. You are in control of your life. Who you are today will not determine who you can be tomorrow. Embrace the possibility of self-transformation. Be the change you want to see in the world by changing your perception of yourself, and you will automatically see the change around you. Be good, be you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Charlotte Halford. Transformation is a form of change that we humans over time go through, without even realizing that we are changing. It can be the form of feelings, mindset, body, and personality. As we all grow, our bodies, feelings, and mindsets will slowly change our perspective on certain things, or more specifically, a person. We all know that people change, but with every second that passes by, we change. We are changing, but how you feel about other people can determine certain changes. We judge, we admire, we adore, we love, we feel, and many other things that we do regarding other people. This over time changes too. In our society, majority of us are paying more attention to others than ourselves, thinking that other people are better. This behavior changes our mannerism and later be judged by society. We all are vulnerable to changes, and we are all afraid to face inevitable change that bestows upon us. A feeling that can never be explained, being judged by others, making silly mistakes, being left out, to be loved, and to love are a form of transformation we all have to accept and face. To transform to be a better person, we all have someone who inspires us. It does not matter who are they, whether they are a billionaire, a superstar, a genius, a parent, a relative, a teacher, a friend, or even a stranger. It is just how they have inspired us to transform to be a better person, because in this life, we will at least have one person who we look up to. We can admire them, we can be inspired by them, but never forget that being the best who we can be will ultimately change us. We are full of curiosity, having to question ourselves what we have transformed in ourselves over the time. As for me, I realized that the world was not as beautiful as I thought it would be. Having to know and experience the hard life that I never thought I would face, I see the world in a negative light. Being heartbroken, feeling disappointed, making silly mistakes, trusting the wrong people, and many more. But I have not regretted having experienced them. I now know that there are more to life because these experiences transformed me to be wiser and more careful when making my future decisions. Accepting what has become and see the world differently plays an important role in seeing small gesture matters. Who we were before and what we become are dependent on what we want to be. We want to see in our future. With transformation, there are no guarantees that everything will be alright. But knowing and having the goal of doing the right thing is key. This will allow us to plan and make the world a better place for us and the generations to come. Through my negative experiences, I've allowed myself to transform, to be better, knowing that I cannot only change myself, I can also help to change another. Rotary Club has granted me many opportunities to help others. I am able to influence my classmates, my peers, and my juniors to lend a helping hand and transform themselves like I did. Transformation in myself allows me to create a ripple effect to provide positivity to the world. The actual change I want to see, I am.
I was a small boy. I was the number 6 in my family. The most difficult child to teach and train. My father had 8 of us. Those days, Singapore, there's no border. There's not even a country called Singapore. It was Malay States of Malay. 8-7. My dad says, "Hey son, I'm going to teach you. But I don't want to study. I like to draw. I flunk English, I flunk Chinese, I flunk Maths. Those were the 3 important subjects. Because qualification is very important. My eldest brother did well, Raffles Institution. He was a top-notch civil servant. Today retired, he should be 78. My second brother, MBA, top-notch chef in one renowned hotel. My third brother, an engineer, MBA. My sister, black belt, Six Sigma, working in GE. My younger sister, MBA, PhD, school principal. My youngest brother, online specialist. This nerd flunked everything. Very hard to teach. So one day my dad said, "Hey son, I'm going to teach you." My dad worked in a small shop in Kim Cat Primary School. Those days he fed 8 of us. He said, "Son, 8-7. Remember tomorrow, 6 a.m. Remember tomorrow, 6 a.m. Remember tomorrow, 6 a.m. You come to my shop." And when I went to the shop, without fail, he has the DNA, and his DNA was son, discipline and attitude. If you have good discipline, you have good attitude, you bring you to higher altitude. I never failed him for 6 months. Come July 1963, those days they have television box called telephone. My neighbor was so rich, he bought a television. Full color TV. I was so excited. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I went to watch at night. I forgotten on the Sunday night, I watched until 3 a.m. By the time I got to bed, I slept, I forgotten. I woke up on Monday, 6:10, 10 minutes. For my house to the school was only arm's length. I rushed there and put on. There I see the old man looking at me, and he turned around. I say, "Hi Dad." He catch me and give me a nice slap on my face. That slap, I hated him so much. That slap awakened me. Thanks Dad. My father is gone, has been passed away, age 95 the last few years. But because of my dad, he brought me and trained me who I am. He was my first leadership mentor teacher on leadership. He said, "Son, I have the DNA, I'm going to teach you DNA, discipline, time. I never be on late terms. Whenever I meet people, my first impression and the best impression is be on time. And you got to discipline yourself." Because my dad served the British Navy, he served the Japanese. And the Japanese are very, very strict. If you want to do business, be on time. But that night, that day, I ran back home. I hated him so much, but when I reached home, my mom is my best ever loving mother. She teach me, she's my mentor in PR and marketing. She hugged me and said, "Son, don't worry, don't go to school today." I didn't go to school. I almost shed tears. But then she said, "Come Sunday, I bring you to learn about marketing." So my mom is one of the best marketing. My dad taught me this. As I grew up and attend secondary school, again, I flunked English, I flunked Chinese, I flunked Maths. Why? Because after realized 50 years later, I'm an autistic kid. I have autism. So, no difference. And then, I end up in Baharuddin Vocational Institute. Today, they are known as ITE. Those days, my first teacher, we were the first batch of guinea pigs we call it, 20 of us. My school teacher, Malay teacher, was Mr. Iskandar Jalil. Today, he's the Singapore top-notch pottery man. The first day we ran in class to sit, all of us, I was sitting right in front. We were all so scared, so timid. Right hand, he took one pile of mud and bang on the table and said, "All of you are just like this SHIT. We lost our self-esteem. It was so sad. We almost cried. And then he said, stand up. We didn't want to stand up. On his left hand, he brought a big vase. He put, be yourself. Be yourself. Be yourself. You want to be yourself like this bus? Start working. Don't ever be late. Discipline yourself. For my school teacher, Mr. Iskandar Jalal, I learned the 3 H's of life. Heads on, plan with your head. Hearts on, work with your heart, and hands on. He taught me many, many things. So that's where it brought me to the next higher level. Because of this, when I graduated, I started working. I have so many ventures, I flunked, I failed. Until one day, 1991, one of these men from John Hub, one of the big public company, says, Edmund, I have a big...
Parents, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Trianu. What does self-transformation mean? Well, it's the key to getting unstuck. You can inspire, motivate, cajole, or influence others, but at the end of the day, changing yourself is the fastest way to see change you desire. After all, you can control your attitude and actions. However, self-transformation is also not just about changing yourself. It means shifting yourself to a completely new dimension of experience and perception. I was an individual with many self-doubts, lacking in confidence or feeling incapable of doing things I need and want to do, panicking about things will go wrong or not going the way as expected. There was one particular incident that I could never forget. It happened when I was 16 years old. I was selected to participate in a Chinese orchestra competition with my friend. I reluctantly agreed to it, thinking it would be a good experience and build a good portfolio for myself. While preparing for the competition, many thoughts ran through my mind, questioning my every ability. What if I was not good enough? What if on that day I messed up? And what if I let my emotions cloud my judgment? I did not have faith in myself. These negative thoughts kept holding me back, having thoughts of giving up and quitting the competition. I decided to talk to my mother, whom I had never shared with her my personal issues. After she had listened to me lovingly, she managed to calm me down and said in a firm, soft, confident voice, "Believe in yourself, your abilities, and your own potential. Never let your self-doubt hold you captive. Trust yourself that you will do well, because my beautiful daughter is capable of doing anything and everything that she sets her mind to." Those words impacted me greatly, and as I never since looked back and allowed anything to hold me back. I started to gain confidence and learned to ignore my self-doubt, focusing on the possible positive outcome and the actual experience. I will transform from someone who doubts herself regularly to someone with a strong sense of self-belief, and I've never been more proud of myself. Thanks to my mother, my rock. I see this self-transformation is important and has a big impact since I'm able to better myself by allowing me to experience things I never knew I could. Doing things outside of my comfort zone, like my experience in a community service trip to Bahrain, Cambodia in September 2019. I was assigned to lead a group of students to help in the local village primary school and to also teach them English language through hygiene. The small gestures that I had made was making a big impact on the local community. Teaching them to correctly wash their hands helped the young children to cultivate a good habit of hygiene so that they are able to better maintain their health. The painting of the school provided them with a conducive learning environment where they will be more motivated to learn and improve their lives and their family lives when they grow up. With the confidence I have gained, I am given the opportunity to serve the community as an executive committee for Road Track Club of IT College Central. Being appointed this role, I have learned to take pride in the work I have done and responsibly carrying the task out, proving to myself that I am capable of anything when I believe. To all my peers who are facing this similar problem, do not be afraid of the world and believe in your capabilities that you have and you will gain. These are the things that will make a huge impact in yourself and in the world around you. I will be there for those who seek my assistance, like how my mother has reached out to me. I will be able to guide them and overcome this obstacle and help them to be a better version of themselves. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Rotarians, Rotaractors, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Iku. I'll be sharing with you about a story of change. There are many types of transformation in society: physical, chemical, spiritual, and self-transformation. Self-transformation does not mean you have to carry an expensive bag, wear expensive clothes, and do expensive things. It only requires willpower to evolve. Changing our lifestyle helps us to evolve ourselves to live better, to recognize our own capabilities, talents, and most importantly, our own character. We often lose sight of our true self to the expectations of our society. The one person that truly inspired me to strive for change is actually our first Prime Minister of Singapore, the late Mr. Lee Kuan Yew. When I was in primary school, my teacher often complained about the alien language that was found in my homework, as my handwriting was illegible. My mother tried to understand what was the cause of the bad handwriting, so she decided to consult a doctor in the children's hospital. With the specialist's help, I was diagnosed with dyslexia. Dyslexia is a mental illness that causes distortion and affects the way that I write. Life became difficult as it affects my self-esteem and let me not know how to socialize with my classmates. Even after they learned of my condition, some chose to stay away from me. Only a handful of my classmates remained friends with me. A year after discovery of my condition, my mother came across Dyslexic Association Singapore, DAS. This is an academy where children with dyslexia are rehabilitated. They learn to write properly and learn some socializing skills. When I first entered DAS Center, the first thing I noticed and caught my attention was a quotation on the wall. Even if you hit the rock bottom, embrace yourself and not escape yourself. This quote intrigued me. I was later introduced to a specialist and went through a series of tests. With a simple rehabilitation techniques, it was hard, as I was used to the way I'd been writing. The technique became more effective after I started making friends who are in the same class as I was. DAS has taught me many things, and I learned to improve on my handwriting through discipline and determination. I would practice every day in the DAS as well as at home after the class until I was satisfied. I even talked to my classmates as a form of training to socialize with people. This process was never easy, but my hard work paid off. I'm now able to write similarly like a normal person who does not suffer from dyslexia. This transformation allows me to gain enough confidence, and I will not fear of being jobless. As our late Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, whom was diagnosed with dyslexia, can govern a nation to the modern Singapore today, it gives great confidence that I can achieve great things in my life. He inspired me to be driven even when I feel like giving up and reach out to my fullest potential. With such confidence, I was given a chance to help others who are like me. Rotary Club is collaborating with ITE College Central Buddy CCA to help special educational needs students to build confidence and become more socially confident. I have grown a lot as an individual, and from not understanding what my condition was to fighting internally to overcome the condition, and now to become a confident individual who can achieve anything I want and put my mind to complete. I have been assisting elderlies from various homes, underprivileged children, and now students who seem as specials. I would love to do more. Possibly when the opportunities present itself, I would love to help the less fortunate who are overseas, and collectively together with Rotary Club, change the world slowly but surely, letting others know that even if one has and is encountering any shortfalls in life like me, who can choose to overcome it and help others, making the world a better place to live in for ourselves and others. I shall end it with a saying, it's not about will I go through self-transformation, it is do I have the will to go through self-transformation. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Rotarians, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Brian. Transforming ourselves allows us to grow, learn more, and gain more knowledge that we don't usually learn from our syllabus. However, transformation isn't always about transforming yourself, but how you can impact others and help them to be a better person than before. Till today, I stay true of this quote by JB. Self-transformation is not just about changing yourself, it means shifting to a completely new dimension of experience and perception. I have always been known to be a shy individual. Even though I have passion to help others, I simply do not know how and be too afraid to ask where and how I should start. Some of you may not believe, I was actually a very shy person since young. I barely had friends and always get mocked by my classmates for being too quiet. Since then, I had developed a hatred going to school and started to skip classes. When I started school in ITE, my class advisor, Ms. Noraini, counseled me, introduced and encouraged me to join Rotary Club. During my first year with Rotary Club, I was still shy towards interacting with other members and teacher advisors of the club. However, my commitment towards the club persisted. Rotary Club helped me a lot. It helped me learn more about communication and be proactive when doing events. I was later shocked to learn that I was selected to be one of the excos. Since then, everything started to change, and I was never the shy guy anymore. I started to take more initiative to organize events and engage more with the members, as I'm required to lead during these events and make announcements in front of the crowd. This forces me to come out of my shyness. At the age of 18, some of the youth like myself will be thinking, what should we do during our free time? Go clubbing, hang out with friends, God forbid join a gang, or do something silly that we might regret later in our life. Thank goodness for the dedicated teachers I have. I was encouraged to do more what I believe I can. I was advised to have courage and be kind. Plus, I wanted to do for the community at large. I later joined People's Association Youth Network and became a part of People's Voices. Youth today are given many opportunities in life. What we need to do is simply choose the right ones. This would not have been possible without the help of one influencing individual. He is an inspiration, a dedicated teacher, mentor, or a father figure to many students, including myself under his charge. When I first met him, I thought he would simply ignore my presence. I never knew he was observing me from afar and slowly introducing me to tasks to develop my skills and bringing me out of my shyness. He's none other than my Rotary Club teacher advisor, Mr. Zaki. Mr. Zaki has given me different opportunities to discover my capabilities, some I never knew I had. When we had to raise funds for the CDC Children's Day celebration, he placed me in charge of the fundraising project and never doubted my abilities. When I suggested the club self-customized keychain, he agreed to the idea. And he entrusted me and only to check how are things developing. With this, the club was able to raise a record-breaking of $2,000 to help with expenses. I was also given the MC role for this event. Never have I thought a shy guy like myself could be the MC of any event. I played host to 200 children from Central CDC, IT management, staff, and road tractors. He also gave me the opportunity to perform community service overseas. While in Cambodia, I did not know I had more capabilities. I never knew that I'm able to lead a group, bond with them, and also enlighten the mood of the children from the villages. In fact, I'm so in love with helping people. I could not thank Mr. Zaki enough for giving me these opportunities. Mr. Zaki has inspired me to do more. Amidst his busy schedule, it takes time to listen to us and guide us when we needed him the most. After joining this People's Association in Yuchagang, I became their youth leader. I am now able to help more people and provide support to those who are in need. The saying goes, behind every successful man, there is a woman. It is not the case for me. Behind my success, I have Mr. Zaki. Because of him, I'm able to stand on this stage today. I am able to do more. I am now not only providing help and support to the community, I'm also giving opportunities to youth who I'm leading. I'm a better person in many ways that rewarded me with satisfaction beyond youth my age. So, Mr. Zaki, thank you for this transformation, allowing me to be me, a better me, to a better world that I'm in, to better it for generations to come. Thank you.